Hi, my name is Mya Adams, photographs cataloger here at Heritage Auctions, and today we are excited to share with you our curator's picks from our upcoming photograph signature sale, sale number 8195. We in the photographs department are thrilled to present this exceptional group of work, so let's dive right in. First up, we have Nigel's pick, a wonderful image by Yale Joel. In 1954, Joel captured a group of young baseball players in a classroom in Manchester, New Hampshire, waiting eagerly for the last pieces of their uniforms. And the star of this photograph is a pantsless young Dick Williams, standing defiantly in the middle of the frame. His expression says it all. Ready to play, no matter the uniform situation. His teammates' varied expressions, some anxious, others bored, serve as a perfect contrast to Williams' determined stance. This remains one of the finest pure baseball photographs ever captured by a life photographer. Next up, we have Laura's pick. Czech modernist František Drtikol was a consummate perfectionist, painstakingly arranging his gymnast models in a constructed studio environment. He always insisted that, quote, the image must be complete in the photographer's head a long time before it is reflected in the viewfinder. An approach which eventually led him to replace his live models with cutouts, which were much easier to manipulate successfully. This rare blue-toned carbon print is a fascinating example of how he creates depth using these two-dimensional chorus line and spatial feet, which would have been virtually impossible to achieve using live models. Now we're taking a look at Holly's pick, George Tice's Petite's Mobile Station and Water Tower from 1974. Tice's photography often captured the subtle beauty of everyday life, and this piece, notably his most famous one, is a perfect example. The glowing gas station at night captured using a long exposure becomes a focal point of this image. And Tice's use of light and the placement of the water tower, reminiscent of earlier photography by Frederick Evans, gives his work a unique sense of tranquility and narrative. And this print, made in 1975, is an early example, evident in the misspelling of mobile, the use of Agfa Brovera paper, and his earlier signature, all markers that predate his refinements of his later editions. Here we have now is Weegee's iconic portrait series, which is a favorite of Toshiko's. Weegee took two portraits of men on the streets of Manhattan, which are included in the sale, but the one we are showing to you today is one of him working in the back of his truck. It is very interesting to see the photographer himself at work. Known as Weegee, Arthur Fellig was a famous tabloid photographer in the 30s and 40s. He started as a freelance photographer during the Depression era. As a well-known exploit, Weegee obtained a permit to use a portable police band shortwave radio that often led him to be the first at an accident, fire, or a crime scene before the authorities even arrived. So if you think about it, his name Weegee is spelled differently than a Ouija board, but that's how he got his nickname. Every night, he was at the ready with his signature camera, a 4x5 speed graphic with a flash gun attached. You can even see him putting in the back of his car in one of these photos. You would notice that Weegee was always wearing a suit, even in bed, and always had a cigar in his hand. He was definitely a character. Lastly, my pick is Germaine Krull's hand study from 1929. Now, throughout art history, hands have been a benchmark of technical skill, praised for their complexity and expressive potential in painting and drawing. And I think photography deserves the same recognition, especially when hands are treated with such intentional artistry. This photograph captures a beautifully articulated pair of hands gently gripping a steering wheel, a simple, everyday action today, but in 1929, still a relatively novel scene. And to me, hands can be just as expressive as faces, and Krull's image is a perfect example of that. There's a quiet confidence in the lightness of the grip, a calm familiarity that suggests total harmony between the person and the machine. It's not just a study of form, but it's also a study of feeling. Thanks for joining us to explore some of our favorites from this season's signature sale. You can view the entire auction at ha.com/8195. With nearly 500 lots in this powerful lineup, narrowing down our picks was no easy task. These selections offer just a glimpse into the diverse range of works available, spanning decades and styles to appeal to every photography lover. The sale is divided into 3 sessions. Session 1 goes live on April 29th at 11 a.m. Central. Session 2 starts at 2 p.m. Central on that same day, and Session 3 begins at 11 a.m. Central on Wednesday, April 30th. We hope you'll join us online at ha.com. Good luck bidding, and we will see you next time.